All right, welcome back. So, ignore the messy look. I know I look a little bit weird right now. Kind of works for this video because today we are going to talk about ignoring or detaching from the 3D to a degree. And you'll have to kind of detach from my look right here. It's not even that I just got up. I've been awake for the last 7 hours. I just didn't really do anything. But I did see a few comments, and a lot of the comments were about this topic of today. So we're going to answer certain things about the 3D. So let's get into it. Being obsessed with the 3D and constantly checking the 3D and asking yourself, why isn't it here yet? Where is it? That is that is wavering. That is doubting. There's only one thing you can do in this law of assumption space, and that is doubt. You can do whatever else you want. You can do scripting. You can talk to your water. You can do the O method, which I'm sure people who do the O method are really doing it just because of the manifestation, fulfillment desire that they have, and not just doing it for the other purposes. You can do anything else, whatever helps you get into the state, because that's all that really matters. I have my own methods, which is, robotic affirmations, which I love, and sometimes visualization, but you can do anything at all. You just can't waver. You just can't doubt. I made a video literally yesterday about this. If you constantly ask yourself, well, where is it? And you're constantly checking the 3D, you're refreshing your phone, whatever it may be, you are wavering. You need to really stop that because you can't waver. That's the only thing you can do. And you might think you're checking and you're doing it from a noble standpoint or something. There's no such thing as that. You have to detach. You don't need to detach from 3D. You have to detach from constantly checking and asking yourself, why isn't it here? The goal is to never fully ignore the 3D and pretend it just doesn't exist. Your goal is to stay in the dominant assumption and overwrite the old story with the new story. Your goal is not to stay in your room all day and do robotic affirmations like Neville, like that one guy who went to Neville's lectures and he said, I stayed in my room for 16 hours and just affirmed. That's never the goal. Even Neville knew that. When Neville got drafted into World War II, which is a lot worse circumstances than most of you have of just, seeing your SP talk to another person or something. When Neville got drafted into World War II, he didn't say, hey, Sarge, I know you need me on the battlegrounds right now. I know I should be training, but for the next 10 days, I actually need to ignore the 3D. I need to sit in my bunker all day and affirm and feel the wish fulfilled and live in the end. He never did any of that. He just did stayed akin to sleep, and then throughout the day, he affirmed and he reminded himself to be in the new state, and he changed his dominant state and he moved on. He still had to live in the 3D. You will never not have to do that. You still have to live in the 3D. Your goal is just to change your dominant state. If you're someone who is trying to, manifest a promotion, and this promotion lets you work from home, you still have to do the office job. Your goal is immediately when you go home, your resting state, your dominant state should be, I got promoted. I am a person who got promoted. I am a person who is making this amount of money now. I used to make this much money. Now I'm making this much money. Now I'm making $10,000 a month. That is what you're supposed to do. You still have to live in the 3D, but you're supposed to change your dominant assumption and overwrite the old story with the new story with your dominant resting state. And you can do this with my favorite technique, which is robotic affirmations. You can constantly repeat in your head the new story, and naturally you will start to react to the rest of the world from your new story, and you will stop caring whether it's here or not. Just don't check. Like, detach from checking. And Neville himself always said this. Neville constantly said, do not rip open the seed and check if it's growing. He also said, don't interfere with the pregnancy. Let the animal or baby be born. And any interference with it will lead to a miscarriage. Too many of you guys are constantly having miscarriages. You keep interfering with the pregnancy and you're constantly having miscarriages. No, just overwrite it. Stop checking for it. Live in your imagination. This is the law of I am. Whatever you think you are, whoever you think you are, that is what's going to be externalized. You change yourself in your imagination. You need to stop looking at the world from the perspective that I'm trying to change the world. You're not trying to change the world. You're trying to change you in your imagination. And the world has no choice. The 3D has no choice but to follow. Naturally, you're still going to have to live in the 3D a little bit. I don't want you guys to be like, oh no, my dominant assumption now is that I'm with them. And then you try to forcefully kiss them and then you get sexual assault charges. I'm not saying do that either. Your goal isn't to overwrite the 3D so much to the point where you're like, no, they're mine right now. I'm going to kiss them and catch some SA charges. Don't do that either. I'm not trying to turn my fan base into little Bill Cosbys and Jeffrey Epsteins. No. In your imagination, in your dominant state, change you, have them in your head, live in your head a little bit, change you, and then you'll naturally just ignore the 3D and ignore the desire to check it. That's basically it. Stop looking for it, because if you constantly look for it, you are checking and you are wavering. Let the baby be born. Stop checking for it. Stop trying to find birds before land. Leave it alone. Like it says in the Bible, I'm not sure if I can get this verse correct. I have ways which you know not of. You have eyes but you can't see. You have ears but you can't hear. You're not gonna know the bridge of incidents. You're not gonna really need the birds before land. If you're constantly looking for the birds before land, you are chasing, and your goal is to not chase. And that is wavering. If you're constantly looking for, you're constantly, well, I'm not seeing birds before land. I'm not seeing any movement. Well, yeah, that's because you are a person who is not seeing any movement. This is the law of I am. If you're saying I'm a person who is constantly looking for it, then you're going to always manifest being a person who is constantly looking for it. Stop looking for it. Just affirm. Just live in your imagination. Understand and overwrite. Overwrite the old story with the new story. And stop looking for it. If you already had it, you wouldn't look for it. Like Abdullah told Neville, you are in Barbados. How can you go to Barbados? How can you go to Barbados on a third-class ticket if you already went to Barbados and you went first class? we can't have this conversation, Neville, because you already went to Barbados. How am I supposed to get you to go to Barbados? How am I supposed to get you the first class ticket of going to Barbados? Why are you complaining about getting a third class ticket of going to Barbados if you are already in Barbados and you already went first class? So yes, even Neville was taught this in the Abdullah way. Again, Abdullah taught Neville not from our perspective of watching 100 YouTube videos and 100 techniques. He just taught Neville, no, you were in Barbados, just live there. Stop. He didn't give Neville 10,000 techniques. He didn't give Neville 10,000 explanation of how it's going to happen. When is it going to happen? No, he just said, just live in the end. Like he was shaking Neville, just live in the goddamn end. You're driving me up the wall, Neville. And that's what you guys need to do. You need to detach. How can you look for something and constantly seek something like it's a goddamn game of hide and seek if you already have your desire? If you already had them, how can you think of new ways of getting them if you already had them? How can you think of, oh, is my boss going to have this thought and give me a promotion? If you already have the promotion. And again, you have to look at the world from the lens of who you actually are. And you are the creator. You are the creator of your own reality. If Rockstar Games is creating GTA 6, or Ubisoft is creating Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, which I can't wait to play, how can they, if they want to change something, they change it from the codes. They don't look at the screen and be like, there's a glitch. How do I change this glitch? Oh, let me keep looking at the glitch. Oh, that's going to change the glitch. Yeah, let me keep looking at the glitch. No, you step back. You recognize that you are the creator of the video game of GTA 6, and then you do some crazy nerdy software engineering no pussy getting motherfucker, and you change the code, and then the video game will change, and the glitch will be removed, and the bug will be removed. You don't just look at the screen and be like, oh yeah, this is the glitch. When is this glitch gonna go away? No, you change first. Same thing with this world. Think of your bad circumstances as a glitch. Change the glitch in your head. Then it will be here after. As within, so without. As above, so below. What was the other? Mind over matter. Mind over matter. Your mind comes first. Matter comes second. Screw Charles Darwin. It's mind over matter. Mind first. Change your mind first. Change your imagination first. And the 3D never, ever, ever had a choice to follow. It has to follow. It doesn't have a choice whether to follow or not to follow. It can only follow. It is submissive. And according to, Joseph Murphy and Neville, the word woman in the Bible actually means the subconscious mind. So like it's literally subconscious, like it's submissive. It doesn't mean put women in bondage. It literally means subconscious mind. That's what the word woman means in the Bible. But anyways, hopefully this helped you guys. Please, whatever you do, don't waver. And checking the 3D is wavering. You have to detach. Stop checking the 3D. Stop asking yourself, is it here? Is it not here? Why is it not here? I thought you just said you had it, motherfucker. You just said you had it. And now you're saying you don't have it. Well, you're going to be a person who is constantly looking for it now. Congratulations. You manifested perfectly. But yeah. Anyways, that's for today's video. Hopefully I look a little bit better today. Hopefully you guys were able to detach from my weird, messy look right now. I'll try looking a little bit better tomorrow. And yeah, make sure to like and subscribe. And yep, bye-bye.